Hey all, it's Naomi from Fluffy Boots Creations. I had to just go look at my channel name because I completely forgot. I was like, what is my channel's name? I don't even recall. So, what's going on with me? I'm gonna have to put this closer, sorry. Um, well, first you probably notice I'm not in the same place as normal. That is because I'm packing, sorting, and getting rid of things because I will be moving soon. I'm not 100% sure when. I have my applications in to two two cities that are taking applications for housing vouchers and low income because that's me. I make well under $1,000 a month. Um, and you're probably like, well, why are you doing that? Why don't you try to live with, a family? Well, my daughter and her soon to be husband. He was supposed to be her husband on Tuesday, but we'll talk about that again in a moment. They only live in a two-bedroom, one bathroom place. It is so tiny. It's a mother in law's house. It was perfect when it was just the two of them, but they're trying to have a baby, and they definitely cannot take me in for hardly any time at all. And they wouldn't be able to take my cats because they already have two cats. And my brother, well, let's just say um, he's got some major anger towards me, and it just would not be a good situation for me to go into with my cats. I did, however, ask, but like I said, just would not be a good idea. So, why is all this going on? Well, um, how do I put this? My dad fell on December 6th. And at first, we couldn't figure out what was the reasoning behind why he fell. Then, um, we took him into the hospital. Turns out he had a heart attack. Plus, he had influenza A. So, he had to get two stents put into his heart and then a catheter eventually. He was in the hospital itself for about 4 weeks. Then they transferred him to rehab, and we thought, okay, he'll do good in rehab, and he'll be able to hopefully come home. Then it was decided that no, he probably wouldn't be able to come home again at that time, and this is right before Christmas. Mainly because he just didn't seem like he was getting a whole lot better, and he had how do I put it? He was kind of like shutting down, if that makes sense. Um, so he stayed there for a while. I went up and saw him a couple of times after I was feeling better. Um, I I didn't see my dad for a month because I was fighting the flu. So, oh my God, that's the worst case of flu I've ever had in my whole life. I never want it again. I have to get a flu shot in March. My doctor wants me to do it in March at the end of the flu season just to help me hopefully get through it so I don't get that sick again because I ended up in the hospital myself. Just the emergency room, but it was enough. Excuse me one moment. Sorry, I had to get a drink. I guess I'll stand here for a while. Sorry about the jolt there. um, so now, oh, and then, about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks now, I'm not even sure. Sorry, I'm gonna have to sit back down. I'm not sure how long it's been, but I'm sorry. Keep moving the phone around. I'm just holding the phone. I'm sure you figured that out by now. Um, so I had gone to see him on the Sunday before this happened, and he was fine. We were talking. I was filling in on what was going on. I hadn't told him about not coming home because my brother supposedly was going to do it. I don't know if he ever got to it or not. Um, so like 3 days later, I think it was, he had complained that he was feeling really weak. And they took his blood pressure and his um, whatever the top number is when you do your blood pressure had dropped into the 40s, which, if you know anything about your um, blood pressure, not a good thing to do. So they took him over to the emergency room. It kept being low. Then they put him in a room so they could observe him. While he was there, he was doing okay outside of his blood pressure, or that number keep going up and down. I'm sorry that I can't think of what that number is. Heart rate. Oh my gosh, thank you, Lord. And that I did. I'm sorry. His heart rate was just super duper low. So they put him in a room to observe him. And while he was in the room, they went in and he was unresponsive. And one side he was had been complaining was weak, and they couldn't get a response out of him. Turned out he had, they think, a mini stroke, but they gave him medicine right away that combated it. He had a slight droop on his lip, right side only. Um, I'm gonna switch hands because that hand's getting a little tired. See, this is stuff. All that over there, I just finished today. That's all sorted yarn in that corner. I still have a lot. Oh, and let me show you this real quick. I don't know if you can see it all, but all that right there, that's yarn I'm selling. I went through and I sorted and I got them into, boxes of $10, $25, $50. I haven't sold one yet. I'm hoping I will. The biggest problem is right now I'm not doing shipping. Um, the main reason I haven't been doing shipping is it costs so much to ship, and I will have to add shipping costs onto these. I may still do it, but right now, as it stands, I'm trying to just do pickup only. Anyways, back to my dad. So my dad, sorry, my daughter's messaging me. Um, so they thought he had a little stroke. Then his heart rate kept going down. So he was still in the hospital. Now, I want you to understand all of this has been going on since December 6th. That was when he fell. So he has gone from just falling to, the day before he was fine, getting up, going to the bathroom, doing that, getting himself in bed. I just mainly had to make sure he's safe. That's my job. Make sure he's safe, make sure he has his medicine, make sure he has his food, pay all the bills, take care of the home. That's what I do. Did. Did. Sorry, it's hard to talk about it in past term because it it still feels like that's where I should be. Anyways, um what was I saying? Oh, so Then when he was in, his heart rate kept, it never went back up to a number that would be considered appropriate, which is 70 up would have shown he was improving. It the highest it was going was into the 60s. And it was decided he would go into palliative care, which was care right before hospice. Meaning that he needed care, but he wasn't quite full time yet, and he wasn't quite on the way out. He could have stayed in palliative care for a few months. But we were informed that he was definitely, sounds weird to say, but working on dying or preparing to die is what his body was doing. And so they were going to try to get him into hospice care. And they said it probably would be the end of this week. Well, we lucked out, and there was a room that opened up at this absolutely wonderful place called Hospice House in Tacoma. For me, it's about a 30-minute drive. For my brother, I think it's an hour and a half drive. It's a great place. They had private rooms set up, including with a private bathroom that had a shower in it. Set up almost like a studio, had a microwave, a little mini fridge. He had his own entertainment area, a sleeping area if someone wanted to stay over. And they don't have a huge amount of people there. The last count was, I think, 11. I think. They may have lost one in between there, so the number may have gone down. But they have 20 beds. So, really, really nice facility. The staff is so caring and so attentive, not just to my dad, but to the family. We had been staying there pretty much every day for hours upon hours. And they offered not just coffee and water, but they had vending machines if you wanted them. They offered fresh soup every day, which was, and it wasn't just like, canned soup or something like that. It was, honest to goodness, freshly made every day. The cooks actually care about the food that they present, not only to the patients, but to the family members. They understood the fact that hospice is very hard on the family. When you put someone in hospice, there's no getting around it. You're saying this person is preparing to die, whether they want to admit it out loud or not. That's what is going on. So, he is in there, and we were told that, it was progressive. He's been there now. Oh, has he been there a week now? Not quite sure. Anyways, they reach a point where if they can't take their medicine and they have to do it by IV, or if they have to give it to them through a shot, they do. So that's where my dad is right now. I haven't gone up to see him now since today's Tuesday. I believe Sunday was the last time I went. Or Monday. No, what day did I go? No, today's Wednesday. I'm sorry. The last day I went was Monday. Had a little bit of an issue with my brother that I won't go into. And then the next thing I know, I'm suddenly having my stomach issues. and not little, but like I would have at home. And I'm just like, okay, if I have one more issue with my stomach, I'm going to have to go home. Sure enough, I no sooner told my daughter that, and I did. And so we had to wait till they were done giving my dad a bath, um, so that I could go in and get my stuff because I was prepared to. We went early in the day and we were prepared to stay till 10, 11 o'clock at night. That's how close he is to going. And I had to go home. I haven't been back since. Now, I'm not going back to be like, cruel and saying, "Oh, I'm just not going to go." I've had it. I have had the stomach issues. I also have to be looking for housing right now for myself. Um, and they put him on a new medication Monday night. The medication replaces one of his seizure medicines, and it has a sedative in it, so he sleeps more. So he's pretty much, at this point in time, waking up for just a short amount of time and then sleeping. Oh, my cat's over there exploring. They think it's so cool that there's all these boxes they can go up and down on. Um, and that's the only reason why right now I haven't gone um, to see him, was having the stomach issues. It's stressful enough without having to deal with having to use the restroom constantly, which is what happens. And having had the issue pop up with my brother made it just uncomfortable to be there as well. It's not the reason I'm not going though, because it's my dad. But my daughter and I just talked about it this morning, and she's been going every day, and they're staying for hours on end, and she works tomorrow, and she's going to be really tired. And I was just like, it doesn't make sense to have you drive all the way down here to pick me up to go watch him sleep, and then you take me back home before you have to go home and rest and relax so that you can go to work tomorrow. Plus, I have an advantage over my daughter and my brother. And you would think that they would have kind of caught on from when my mom died. That, hey, know, maybe I should spend more time with my grandpa slash or my dad. Um, but they didn't. They didn't, you know, we'll just put it that I was with him for 10 years. And yeah, I miss my dad because I got very used to being with him for 24/7. And now the difference is I'm not. He's not here. So it makes a difference on, I'm trying to relearn because I've never made food for one person outside of, a sandwich here or there, a cup of soup or what have you, the lunch type things. I'm having to rethink in terms of actual dinners and things like that. And it's so weird because I haven't done that in so long. It's seriously throwing me off. I'm like going, I made food. Here's a prime example. I happened to make Mexican rice one night when I came back from visiting my dad. I made so much Mexican rice or Spanish rice, depending on what you call it. I made so much of it that I have enough still for 3 more meals. Mainly because I made it spicy. It's very spicy, but it's so good. I'm actually going to. I forgot to buy it, so I have to wait till I get a chance to go get some. But I'm actually going to make a um, layered thing with. I got um, refried beans and the rice, and then I want to put some lettuce, which I forgot to buy, and then I want to put some cheese, and I may I may skip the cheese so I can heat it up and then put the rice or the lettuce on top of that with guacamole that I'm going to make and sour cream and just have this dip thing. But then I'll make so much that I'll, I'll have the same issue still. Life. Um, and in case you're wondering why it is that I'm not breaking down in tears about all this and being upset, I didn't cry as much for my mom either. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to be mean or rude to anyone else. I'm a Christian, and in my faith and the faith of my parents, they were Christians. My brother's a Christian, my daughter's a Christian. So, although we're very sad, and although there will be an emptiness just like there is with my mom not here, I get to see them again. And my dad is going to go home soon, and he gets to be with his wife. And he gets to be with his brother in laws who have already gone. And he gets to be with his um, grandchild that I miscarried. And he gets to be with a couple of cousins. So it's sad, but it's also a joyous time because he gets to go home and be with family. And the best part is, he's not going to have dementia anymore. He's not going to have heart problems. He is not going to have seizures anymore. The whole reason we have him on seizure medicines is because they're so horribly violent, and we want his last days to be nothing but peaceful. Which I think most of us would want for a family. Sorry, I did get a little teary there. So, it's not that I don't cry and not that I don't care. It's just that I know he's going to be so much better off. And he's going to be so happy. So, what does all this have to do with my channel, right? I know you're all saying that. You're all like, okay, lady, you've carried on for a good 20 minutes. Now let's talk about the channel. Well, I've got excitement in my life right now. Um, a little bit of terror. I'm not going to lie. There's some terror there too. There is excitement and hope for a future I didn't think was going to happen. Um, Getting out, getting a place that is my own, 100% mine, no one else, that's kind of scary. Getting in a place that is mine that I can, sit down and create, that's exciting. I have been crocheting. I have. But I can't focus for real long on one project right now. So I have like 7 things going currently. Excuse me. Um So yeah, I'm going to be back. I have decided. I may not come back and do lives anytime soon. It's really going to depend on where I will be living. I might try to do it once a month. I'm trying to get into two cities, both of which I never thought of a place for me to live, but like my future son-in-law said, um, it's just a stepping stone. I can move elsewhere. I've also been. It's kind of funny because I can't afford one ever, but I've been looking at caravans. I found a couple that were really cool, and I'm like going, ooh, oh, I wonder. And no, it's not even like, not even something I can jokingly, well, I can daydream about, you know. And then it's like, wow, if I had a caravan, I could just go over here and there, and I can't even drive right now. That's how bad my life is. I have to. I'm sorry. I have to get new glasses because I'm having a lot of trouble with my vision lately. Been really blurred, and we think it's a um, combination of my diabetes, but I also have really bad um, glasses. They're so out of date that it's not funny. Anyhow, so yeah, I will. Not until after I move and get a new place, most likely, unless I get something done between now and then. When I get settled in a new place, or at least get my stuff there, I will show where my new place. It's not going to be big. Right now, I'm sitting in a 3 bedroom, 2 bath home. I can't even comprehend how it is we had it before because I swear to God, I cannot get this place warm sometimes. Like right now, I'm wearing my sweatshirt over a sweater. I had to buy myself some new slippers that had a thicker sole so my feet wouldn't be getting cold all the time. It's just amazing. But yeah, I'm excited. I have never lived by myself before, ever. I have always lived either with my parents or I got married. So yeah, this is going to be new for me. Living by myself. I've already got bills situated. Um, I did that a couple weeks ago. Got my own cable. Um, changed my phone plan. So there's things like that I've done, but I haven't had a chance to actually live on my own. And I've been buying, little things like I have a little teapot so I can sit and crochet, and I get excited about things again. I just can't focus on things. So right now, what I have started is, if you've been with my channel for a while, you know that last year I tried to make the adventurous scarf. And I struggled with it and I couldn't figure out what I was doing. I was getting so upset with myself. And so I decided to try it one more time. And danged if I didn't figure out what I was doing wrong. And I started working on it. It's like, oh, yeah, I like this better. So then I liked that so much that then I started making a blanket for my daughter that was Tunisian simple stitch corner to corner. So I have that started. And then I started making, I had got this email from a company that I follow, and it was showing this really pretty hexagon star, or not star, but blocks. They were called sunbursts, I think. And I was like, okay, I'm going to start on that. So I started on that. And then last night I started on my chevron blanket I've been wanting to make forever from the Happy Place yarn that I bought last year. And then today, as I've been pulling things, I'm like pulled some more yarn for two other Afghans. Like I wanted to start my owl Afghan. And so, I'm like all over the place right now. And I'm letting myself do that to explore different things. I think a lot of it is just like I said, there's this sense of excitement and hope for my future. And I want to, when I do get my own home, that is strictly just mine. It's all about me and the home, and the cats, obviously, because they're going with me. But once I get that, there's this sense of, wow, I could do all this stuff, and my creative juices are just like overflowing. I have all these ideas of things I want to do for my own home, blankets I want to do. I want to do some amigurumi just for myself. I haven't done that sort of stuff in so long. I've never made me a blanket. Me. Made it for everybody else. Never made me one. Never. So yeah, I'm like kind of getting excited, which is making me go, you know what? I want to redo my channel, and I want it to be an adventure that you guys get to come along with me for. So I am going to be showing you, as I get to them, what I'm working on. As I get my new home, I'm going to show you my new home. When I, do something exciting, I'm not buying yarn anytime soon. I'm sorry, I can't afford it right now. There's no way. I need glasses first and some furniture. I have to buy me some furniture. No, I take that back. The last time I bought new furniture was with my ex husband. I bought my dining room table that he sold. Urgh. No, it's okay. Um, the couches, and he had to sell those too. And that's the last time. But me personally, I've never bought furniture. So that's exciting. Although it's overwhelming when I think about how much I have to buy. It's like, oh my God. But I'll get there eventually. So I am going to cut this short because this is over half hour. I had no intention of talking this long. Apparently, I had a lot to say. Yeah. So stick around, guys. I will be back full force eventually. Hopefully, I will get into a place in the next few months. I have till probably the 1st of April before I'm out of this place. Unless I get approved for another place sooner, then I'll move there. But right now, if I figured everything correctly, I think right now I have this until the 1st of April. I wish I could make it go longer, but I can't. I'm not going to have the money. I'm going to end up having to break my lease, which means I'm going to end up owing more money. But right now, that's okay. I'm in good standing with these guys. We just talked about it yesterday, or not yesterday, a few days ago. Monday, I guess it was, about what's going on, where I'm standing. And as long as I'm talking to them, I'm staying in good standing with this place. And that's all I really need. I need to stay in good standing with them so that we can, I can have a good credit when I leave. Anyways, I love y'all. I hope you will stick around. I know I have lost a ton of people, but that's okay. When I'm ready to restart the channel, I'm going to decide what I'm doing for sure, 100%. And I hope you guys stick around. Okay, until next time, adios.